Let me know when you're ready to record.
Dale.
Oh, well, hello there, team. My name is Arlyn Pino, and I am super honored to be on this call and to share with you all my little tips and tricks as to how I storytell on social media. But before we begin, I want to announce, I have like the super honor to announce last week's 2 winners. So who's ready to know who won? Drum roll, please. And hopefully I pronounce these right. Okay. Tabitha? Did I pronounce it right? Yeah? Oh, okay, Tabitha, yay! Okay, that's the first winner. And the second one, hopefully I'm pronouncing right. Shay? Yay! I pronounced Amy. Amy is my girl. She's over there clapping for me, telling me I said it right. Thank you, Amy. All right.
Just shoot me over the addresses so I can mail out your vegan samples.
So awesome. Congratulations, ladies. All right. So today's topic I'm super excited to write about because it's funny. I was with Monica Lopez today, and I don't know what happened. Her and Lily were talking about how they don't know how to, they have trouble storytelling and this and that. And I was sitting at the counter, and I just came up with a story. And Monica was like, you need to share that tonight. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to share it with you tonight. You guys ready? Okay, if you're ready to learn from me, I need you to shake your bodies, shake your booties, wiggle out whatever stress you had from today, massage your brain. You guys ready? Okay, here we go. So how do I storytell? I'll be honest with you. There are days that I'm like this most inspirational person in the world, and I just want to share with the world how amazing life is. But then there's days that I'm like, oh, I don't want to share anything with anyone. I don't feel inspiring at all. Can we all get an amen for that? How many of you feel like that sometimes? It's normal. But I'm going to share one of the biggest secrets that I'm sure you guys already know. Do you want to know what my number one way to feel motivated to storytell is? Listening to personal development. Believe it or not, a lot of times when I listen to personal development, I hear certain quotes that I'm like, oh, whoa, that's the same thing as this. And I could write about this. And I come up with a quote or something that inspires me to write. And it reminds me of something going on in my life, whether it's present, in the past, or what I want out of the future, okay? Another time that it's amazing to think of what you want to storytell about is after a workout, because your body is like right now on such a natural high that you feel like whatever you're going to share is going to be amazing. So run with it. After a workout is a great time to post, okay? So Monica wanted me to share how is it that I am able to turn like this Sharpie into a story, right? And it's something that I love because I just come up with posts. Like I could create a post out of anything. So I'll give you an example. Today when I was in Lily Rubio's house, I was sitting at her counter and I'm literally just sitting there looking out the window, right? And I start verbalizing this post, which by the way, I'm doing tonight. And I'm like, I remember the days before Beachbody that I was accepting the fact that I will never be able to afford a house with a lake and a beautiful view, that all I wanted was a house that I could call my own. And I didn't care if it was an apartment or a townhouse. It just had to be something little with my husband's name and my name on the title. That's it. I would keep my dreams small. And why would I keep them small? Because I was afraid to dream big. And I was afraid to exceed our expectations and then fail. This was life before Beachbody, right? So I was always afraid to think too big. But now, thanks to Beachbody, I am sitting at my friend Lily Rubio's counter, looking over to her lake view and dreaming of the day that I too will have a house with this view. And I know it's going to be possible because with my Beachbody opportunity that God placed in my heart, I am able to dream big and work hard for it. And I know that one day I too will accomplish that. So you see how just sitting in a counter, looking out her window, how I just came up with that post. Okay, so it's as simple as that. You have to get creative, and you cannot have a writer. I know people are like, I have writer's block. I can't think. Like, you could turn anything into a post. I want you guys to realize that. Like, and I know it sounds silly, and I've said this in the past in other calls. Once, and I know it's like TMI, but whatever, I have to share with you. My daughter was in the bathroom, and they're toddlers, by the way. Don't think I'm crazy. And she finished pooping. And the moment she finished, her my other daughter and I were like, yay! We did a happy dance, right? And I started laughing. It's just us three at home. And I start walking to the couch and I'm like, oh my gosh, like we really dance around because of poop around here, right? And I'm like, that's kind of awesome. Like, why not? Let's get enthusiastic about pooping. And then I started thinking, when does enthusiasm die? Here are two little girls who are 2 years old and 4 years old who are ecstatic at the fact that they pooped in the toilet and their mom is joining in on the fun. When does that die? When do people become bitter? When do people get like, oh, I have to poop? Why not get excited about pooping, right? So I wrote a post about that. I didn't put the poop. I didn't put the toilet. I just put a post about when do people lose enthusiasm? Why do people let that die? Why do people allow life to get in the way, to think it's okay to be bitter and grouchy? When was the last time you were enthusiastic about life? So you see how I turned pooping, right? Poop into a greatness? You need to start getting creative. And I get it. People tell me, oh, because you're a teacher. Oh, because you think like a kid. So what? Start thinking like a kid. Start hanging out with kids and you'll see how creative you'll get. Okay, so even if you don't have kids, you have nephews or nieces or something, start hanging around them. And I promise you, your creative juices are going to start flowing. Okay, how else can you storytell from small things around? Like, I'm trying to think, for example, the other day, I was working, one of my daughters was sleeping, and the other one was awake, driving me crazy. But at that moment, I took a breather and I looked over and I'm like, how beautiful is it that my cubicle view is my daughter? That's all I ever dreamed of, to be a present mom while running my business. So I did a post about, I love my cubicle view. Look how cute my daughter looks there, right? What am I doing there? I'm sharing the lifestyle. I'm sharing how Beachbody allowed me to retire as a teacher to become a full-time Beachbody coach to be present for my daughters, okay? So far, does anyone have any questions for me? I have assignments for you, but I get really excited about this topic. So, okay. Painting the vision. Exactly. And you know, Monica Lopez is like, oh, I have to talk about my abuelo stuff. Yes. Monica Lopez, and I tell her all the time, when I was a teacher, I'll never forget, it was back in 2015, I was sitting at recess with my 30 students plus two other classes. So it was like 60 or like 90 students at recess. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Miami time. So I'm like drenched in sweat with kids running and screaming around me, right? And I'm like hiding my phone, scrolling through Instagram. And there's Monica Lopez with her laptop poolside. And she writes I don't remember the exact post, so I'm not quoting, but she writes something along the lines like, my office for the day. And it was like a one-liner. And it was like, oh, I want that life. I'm here sweating at recess with these stinky kids that I love. I love my students, don't get me wrong. But Monica's doing the Beachbody opportunity that I have in my heart. But she was able to retire from being a paralegal to make her pool her office. How cool is that? I want that. So you see how Monica's now my coach, okay? I wasn't even that close to her back then. But it was something as simple as painting the vision of the blessing that we have as Beachbody coaches that attracted me even more to push into my business. So guess what? In your post, when you storytell and you share how Beachbody has been a blessing, whether it's for your health, your finances, your relationships, the friendships you've built, whatever it is that Beachbody has become a blessing for you, when you start sharing those little nuggets, people are going to want more. People are going to want to know, like, what is this Beachbody Kool-Aid that she's talking about? And believe it or not, the storytelling post is where people join you. It's not because of challenge packs. It's not because of Shakeology, because we all have the same challenge packs and Shakeology as each other, as the top 10 coaches, is how they could relate to you. It's how you stand different than other coaches. Why are they going to pick Vanessa over Amy? Why? Okay, so your social media is your storefront. So you know how you go to the mall, forget the mall. Some of you are not from South Florida. I'm trying to like compare Publix supermarket to like when you go to Jumbo supermarket, but I can't do that comparison because I have people from all over the United States here. But think of there's different supermarkets. And a lot of times I will drive to the supermarket that is further away just because it feels clean and I feel like my vegetables are cleaner versus the one that's around the corner because I go in there and it's not appealing. It's not welcome. And it's like, ugh, you know, I feel like their vegetables have like rats and stuff. right? So your social media has to make that impact on people. It has to be that when people are on social media and they're tired of seeing Beachbody coaches, they're like, oh, she's a slow stopper. What is she up to these days? Do you realize that I even have a friend's husband that he's like, sometimes I just go through your social media to see what crazy thing you're going to post because, and I don't care, he's calling me crazy, but that's what's keeping people engaged in my social media, okay? So I don't know if I'm getting carried away with this. Monica, if you need me to like slow my pace, you let me know, girl. Okay. Amy's like, at all. She's like one of my biggest fans. I love my Amy. Right, Amy? Okay. So now I am going to give you homework and I am going to give you assignments. And then I'm going to go ahead and give you tips of how to do your homework, right? But before I go into teacher mode, does anyone have any questions for me? Any specific questions as to how I storytell, how I turn little things? Look, my headband. Want to know how I turn this into a story? Ready? And I feel like, and I don't like talking about religion because I don't know people's religion on calls and stuff, but they always say that God is always sending you daily blessings and it's up to you to notice them and catch them and run with them, right? So with Beachbody World, I feel like there's like the Beachbody gods are throwing post ideas at you all day long and you miss them. Right? So you have to be present. I promise you, yes, we're all engaged with our phone, like, oh my gosh, I have Success Club 5, right? If you start living your life present, you're going to realize the amount of post ideas you have around you. Why do I talk about my headband? I went to do groceries with my daughters and I'm about to pay. And the girl at the register tells me, oh, you totally know how to pull headbands off. I wish I did too, right? This is a teenage girl telling me, a mom of 2, that I'm like, cool, right? And I'm like, oh girl, you could pull off whatever you love, right? And I just left her with that. I get home and I'm like, you know, this poor teenager is probably self-conscious about these headbands. When I started wearing them, I was like, right now, before I got on the call, I'm like, why does it look like a bandana? Right? Like it looks kind of weird, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to rock it. That's me, right? And I did a post about that. It was just me and my girls, all 3 of us wearing headbands. And I'm like, this girl at the supermarket told me that she would never be able to pull it off. And I told her, you could do whatever makes your heart happy. So my message to you out there is stop worrying about what people say and start doing what makes your heart happy, right? Do you see how I turned a 5-second conversation at the supermarket into a post to inspire someone on social media? Because their social media is not just about flexing and drinking our 70 superfoods. It's about inspiring people and showing people that there's so much to life out there. Okay? So now for the homework time. Guys ready? Yes? No? Okay. Let me connect my laptop because it's about to die. Hold on. Okay. Here I go. Let me open my file. In the meantime, does anyone have any questions or anything that they want me to talk deeper about before we move on? Monica, do I keep a list of ideas? That's a great question. So when I was working full-time as a teacher, I used to plan my posts because I was very limited with time. So those of you that have full-time jobs, don't use time as an excuse. There's always time, and you can dedicate 1 day out of the week to plan your posts. What do I do now that I'm a full-time mom from home? Yes, there's posts that I come up with out of the air, like today at Lily's Lake. But the deep storytelling post, what I do on Sunday is my planning day, the teacher and me again. So on Sunday, when I'm planning for my week, I sit there with my notebook and I'm like, what 5 topics am I going to talk about, right? And I'll be like, oh, I'm going to talk about how my team is going to summit. I'm going to talk about how, I don't know, let me think of ideas on how, you know, right now I would have been going crazy with the end of the school year as a teacher, but right now I'm going crazy with my girls instead. Like I just on Sundays pick 5 topics. I don't necessarily pick when I'm going to write them, but at least a topic is already planted into my brain so that I know that throughout the week I'm going to be brainstorming them and I have them in my notebook in front of me, okay? I do sometimes keep a certain schedule. So like on Thursdays, I dedicate it to Throwback Thursdays, and I don't put TBT most of the time. I just dedicate it to the old Arlyn, right? So I'll just put like, oh, Throwback Thursday to the time that my husband and I couldn't even afford gas to visit our family. If only Beachbody would have been around back then, right? So it's not just Throwback Thursday of me back then. It's about my life, how different it was back then before Beachbody. Or the fabulous side of Beachbody. Like Throwback Thursday to the time that Beachbody sent me on an all-exclusive vacation on the oasis of the seas. When was the last time your job sent you on an all-exclusive vacation? So you see how I throw in the business, but I do a little throwback so that I can remind people of how awesome Beachbody is? Hold on. So yes, I do keep a list of ideas. And with that list of ideas, I break it down as to like when I'm going to say it throughout the month, not necessarily when, but everyone works differently. Maybe you're more organized than me and I used to write it on a calendar, but it really wasn't realistic for me. If you're getting recognized, like if your coach is recognizing you for Success Club, right? Don't be afraid to recognize yourself. Like actually put yourself in the spotlight and storytell. You know, in corporate America, I feel like I work all day and people really don't notice. And here I am changing lives. And my coach just put me on the spotlight as one of the top coaches for the month. Wow. People don't know what that means. Maybe that just means you hit Success Club 3, but they think you're a total rock star and they're going to want to join you, right? So it's all about getting creative with turning the smallest little detail into this explosion to make it like, whoa, okay? What do you feel is the most important thing you do that has contributed to making your team grow bigger till you make it? Okay, I don't know if to jump into that or jump into the assignment and then share with you what has helped me grow. But as far as what has helped contribute to making my team grow, like not fake it till you make it, but really like what I just said about Success Club. You know, if you share, I tell my team all the time, I want you to share when you hit Success Club. People don't know what that means, but you can put a selfie or the actual collage that I put up for my team and be like, wow, I feel so honored that I am getting recognized this month for changing lives. How awesome is it that my job not only keeps me healthy and positive, but it allows me to pay it forward to people and get recognized for it. Okay, so turn any recognition that your personally sponsored coach does for you, you could blow it up. And if you don't have a personally sponsored coach, don't pull out the violin. You could still put yourself on the spotlight. You do realize that, right? You could still say how you changed lives, okay? Girl, you are a story maker. In Spanish, it's called una muelera. I don't know how many Spanish people I have here. Okay, flex your leadership. Flex. I know what you said, Monica. I just did that. Okay, so here's for the assignment. You guys ready? Hopefully I'm not boring you. Shake it off. Ready? Here we go. Okay. So my questions, I'm going to interview you. You're going to write down the answers for the questions, and then you're going to share them in the thread, and then I'm going to share with you what your homework is. You guys ready? Yes? Okay, awesome. So what obstacles did you have to overcome? So think of obstacles you've had to overcome, whether it's in life, whether it's in Beachbody, whether it's before Beachbody, okay? Like I had to overcome the obstacle of worrying what people would say about me. Like for so long, I was a hidden coach because I was afraid for people to know, until I realized like, it's not like I'm killing people for a living. I'm changing lives. Like, come on, this is a positive thing. So think of an obstacle that you had to overcome, whether it's with the business, your personal life. I know that there's a lot of people that they've overcome addiction or things like that, and now they feel like they're a better person to help others. So that's your first question. I'll give you like a minute to brainstorm. Okay, the next question, are we answering? Well, you could answer it on paper and then, or you could share it through the thread, whatever you've been doing for the past 2 weeks. It's up to you. I personally like writing because when we get off the car, you're probably going to forget what I asked you and you're going to need it for your homework assignment. The next one is, what were the most difficult things you faced? So what were the most difficult things you faced? Think of your story. Think of things that you've had to, go through. Like for me, one of the most difficult things I had to face was getting over the fact that people were going to make fun of me for being a Beachbody coach. And that's what stopped me from starting my business early on. Okay, so that, yes, it was difficult. Look, Monica's saying her tummy. Mine was just, and social media. I was afraid of social media. I didn't have social media before Beachbody. And you would never think that with the fact that now I'm like, on social media, right? As you write them down, you're more than welcome to share it on the chat so that we can all see what you're up to. The fact that I was overweight, Amy said, that's a great one. It could be in regards to Beachbody or just your life in itself, your story. Like, what is your story? What is your brand? What is it that you share with people? Maybe it's anxiety. Like, part of my story is that I have anxiety when I drive, and it stinks because I have to depend on people. Like, I cannot even go to Monica Lopez's pool or house because I'm scared to drive on the highway. And I write about that. I write about that all the time, how I miss out on going to friends' houses because I'm scared to drive. People's negative comments, especially family. Oh, yes, I think that's something that we all go through, and it's very sad. Gary Vee shared something that a lot of times family are the non-supportive people because they cannot believe that the generation that's younger than them is achieving so much more. So they feel like failures, so they want to see you fail because they can't imagine that the baby of the family is going above them. I'm very reserved on social media. Guess what? So was I. People didn't even know I was pregnant or having a baby, like when I was having a baby and pregnant. Okay? I was like a ghost on social media. Like I was that stalker that I would look at everyone's stuff. Like my name was there, but I wouldn't put pictures. And when people would tag me on it, I would get so like, oh, get me off social media. When I gave birth to Sophia, I didn't allow anyone to post pictures about her. Like I was like, nope, you're not allowed to post it. Nope. Like that was me. Now I post about them, but I have like on Facebook, my settings private when I do post pictures about the girls. But at the end of the day, our social media is our storefront. And if we want to grow in this business and we want people to relate to us, we have to get comfortable with getting uncomfortable on social media. My fear of short sleeves. It's low self-esteem, scared of judgment in Dominican society. It's all normal. Those are all stories. Okay, sorry, I got carried away. The next question. What pisses you off? So right now, what pisses you off? Or maybe what pissed you off before? Remember, you can think of now or in the past. In the past, for me, what used to piss me off was the fact that I had postpartum depression with my first baby, and I was a Beachbody hater. So I feel like if I would have joined Beachbody back then, I would have probably not fallen into that depression. Another thing that used to piss me off back then was the fact that I had to work a full-time career and leave my babies at daycare when they were 3 months old. So it depends what your story is, whether you're talking about the past, like BBB before Beachbody, or present Beachbody. Okay, so Amy's saying that what pisses her off is being stuck in an office for 10 hours. Yes. Your full-time job. Everyone thinks, yeah, working holidays, working for someone else. So I'm going to throw it out there. I know some people are very open about saying, I hate my job, right? I couldn't be that way because at the end of the day, I loved being a teacher. I became friends with my students' parents. So I didn't want to sit here and say that I hated because I didn't hate the job. I hated the situation. So if you're scared to share how much you hate your current situation at work, get creative with it. Get creative with, it pisses me off that my kids are sick and I have to leave them behind. It's that mommy guilt that I get every time that I leave them. Any other mommies feel this way? That's a post. And that's how I used to share that I hated my situation without saying, I don't want to go to work. Because since my daughters were in daycare, they were always sick. So every time that they were sick and they would cry while I was leaving to work, I would snap a selfie for Facebook And I would write, mommy guilt in full effect. I can't believe that I have to leave my babies at daycare while they're feeling sick when all they want is their mommy. So yes, get creative with sending the message across. Okay, and the last question is, what keeps you up at night? What keeps you up at night? So for me, what used to keep me up at night before Beachbody came into my life was feeling like I wasn't enough. Like, yes, I was a teacher, but it just felt like my life was in a routine and it felt like it was getting boring, you know? So that's what I would write about right now. Like, I remember before Beachbody, I felt like I wasn't enough and I would have to make ends meet with my husband and tutor after school and always wonder, is this going to be enough for my girls? You know, what if one day they ask me for something and I can't afford it? Now with Beachbody, yes, I have to work hard for it and no income is guaranteed, but I know that I have the opportunity to dream big. So you see how I compare and contrast? Like I'm always like, I'll answer the angry question, but then I end it with the, Beachbody. Unable to afford things as a single mom. Am I doing everything I can? Those are all awesome. Give you guys like another minute. Bills. Okay, so those are stories that you can write about. You can write about, and I know sometimes people get uncomfortable because I get it. You know, you don't want to write so much personal stuff of, oh, I'm staying up at night because I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my phone bill or my electric bill. I get it. But you can get creative with it. You know, how many of you stay up at night thinking about your bills? So maybe it's you, but you don't want to write about yourself, right? So you're just being broad. How many of you are out there, you know, staying up at night thinking of your bills and worrying that you're not going to be able to make ends meet by the end of the month? What if I told you that with the Beachbody opportunity, you can have an extra stream of income coming in to make sure that you have an extra cushion to go, you know, to live your life. So you're not necessarily telling them that they have to retire their jobs to be a Beachbody coach. You're not telling them like, hey, come to me and earn $100,000. No, because we all know that brand new coaches and even some coaches into the business don't make that money. You're just helping them see that there's a solution to their problems that's making them stay up at night. Okay, so they're saying, I want more, not necessarily in money, just in every aspect. Okay, so dig deep. What do you want more of? Is it more time? Is it more freedom to travel whenever you want? Dig deep. Think of it like when you're dissecting an animal in high school, right? That they're like, dig deeper. What else do you see? Dig deeper. When you find a topic and these questions that I'm asking you, don't just answer it broadly, like dig deeper. Do you guys remember when we were in high school? And I know we're all from like different parts of the United States, or Puerto Rico or other places that you guys are in. Do you guys remember when they used to, and this is like old school because they don't even do this in school anymore, the web, right? So you would put the topic in the middle and you would do a circle, right? And then you would put out the little legs, right? So let's say you want to talk about what pisses you off. So you could write, what pisses me off? Do it on your paper and draw out lines like, you know, I don't have enough time with my family. I don't have enough money. I don't feel like people are supporting. Write down everything and let that be like your little, you know how they say word bank? Let it be like your little topic bank to always fall back into so that you know what to write about and what your story is. Okay, so your homework. Are you guys ready to know what your homework is? Yes? Okay, so your homework is that you have to story tell, okay? Pick something in your daily life of how Beachbody is a blessing to you. So it can be answering one of those 4 questions and pick something from, I don't know, maybe it's the chair you're sitting on that thanks to Beachbody, you have a chair to sit on to work your business, okay? Or maybe it's the headband that I always dreamed of and I couldn't afford before Beachbody and now I have the extra $5 to buy it. Whatever little daily thing that is in your life right now that Beachbody has been able to bless you with, okay? So you're gonna story tell about that and you're gonna hashtag it story of my dreams. And then by tomorrow noon, we'll be picking a winner. You guys excited? Yeah? Okay, cool. Team no sleep, yes, girl. Tomorrow by noon. I know, crunch time. Like keeping you guys on your toes. Because sometimes when you think about something for too long, you think about it too much and you think of everything wrong that can happen and you don't do it. So think of it like pulling a Band-Aid. Does anyone have any specific questions for me? Anything that they want to know about how I story tell or how I share my message? Audrey, are you on? Someone has a question for you. I don't know if she's on.
I'm here.
Okay, yes.
How do you get creative with this kind of post when you work your family business? Well, I can tell you in my case, I used to work about 50 hours a week because I had to. But by increasing my income with Beachbody, I told my dad, like, chill out. I don't have to go to the work that much. I don't need to anymore. So when I talk about the family business, it's more about showing my work ethic. Like, I still show up because I am a businesswoman and I believe in leaving a legacy. Like, that's my parents' legacy. I'm building my own, but I'm still going there to take care of that. So that's how I work it in. And it's really anything that could hit you at the moment. Like, I took my boys to work one day and I took a picture of them there in the aisles. And I talked about how a strong business ethic was instilled in me when I was little, watching my parents go to work every day. And now my boys watch me, working on my computer every night. And that's something that I want to pass on to them. So it's literally like, I totally am in sync with Arlyn and what she's saying about how nuggets just come to you when you're going, like when you're just living your life, inspirations will just come to you and you'll see these glimpses of the way your life has changed. And just 5-second rule it. Don't be scared to just go off about it. Don't overthink it. Just be like, wow, and appreciate the moment and write about it.
I agree. And it doesn't always have to be hateful. I think a lot of people are under the impression that you had to hate your life before Beachbody. There's people that have like the best life ever and they're happy, but they do Beachbody because it fulfills them in a different way. Or maybe their husband has been able to afford this beautiful life for their family and they've had this dream life, but now she's always been a stay-at-home mom and she wants to be able to feel like she's doing something for her family. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like a negative message. And I think Audrey just did a really good job at sharing that. She talks about her business, but she's saying like, my parents taught me work ethics. Now I'm able to do the same for my kids. So she's still talking about Beachbody before, like her life before Beachbody, like as a kid. And now how Beachbody is allowing her to show that to her children. How long did it take me to find my aha moment? Aha moment as in what? I feel like I've had a lot of aha moments. Well, I'll share one. Aha moment, when I went from being a discount coach to a full-time, like working my business as if it was a full-time job while I was still teaching. because I had 2 kids under the age of 2. I went back to work from maternity leave, and it was crazy having 30 first grade students, okay, in a low income school, plus the 2 babies at home and my husband and me trying to find myself, plus my family. And that's when I realized Beachbody is going to be the solution to make me be a present mom, to feel more alive. And when Christina Delgado, my coach, set me down and she says, what's stopping you? And I told her, I don't want people to make fun of me. I don't want people to say that I'm another Beachbody person, right? And she told me, do those people that make fun of you or will make fun of you, do they pay your bills? Will they get you home to be with your girls? And I was like, oh, no. I was like, let's do this. So that was like my biggest aha moment in my Beachbody career. Let's see. Do we post it in it? Well, the way that I'll see the hashtag would be on Instagram. You beast. What do we post? Well, I wasn't on the call last week. Did you guys do Facebook or Instagram? I want to keep it uniform to what you guys have been doing.
We did both. We did both, and I just searched it by the hashtag.
You did both? Okay, so let's do both. Perfect. Does anyone have any other questions for me as to, one more time, what exactly? What do I suggest? No sleep? You know, it's funny. I just had a call that I spoke on right before here. And a lot of people, when I was a full-time teacher and I was doing this business, it was like a roller coaster of emotions because I had fellow Beachbody coaches telling me, you need to slow down. And I was like, they're crazy. If I slow down, I'm never going to retire to be with my girls. I had coworkers going to the principal's office telling them that I wasn't teaching, that I was working my business all day long. So at one point, I had the reading coach walk into my classroom 7 times, not exaggerating, to see if I was really teaching and not just working my Beachbody business. So it was this whole cloud of emotions that I was going through. It was like, I feel like God was testing me, like, can you handle being a CEO? I'm going to throw you all these challenges and I'm going to see if you can swim out of it. And I just kept on swimming and it would get thrown at me and I didn't care. I would keep on going and keep on going. And I'm going to share something with you. Someone just asked me, no sleep. In this business, and I don't want to scare anyone away, please. You know, I know everyone's story is different. I don't know more than half of you on this call, but I do want to share this with you. You need to have a strong why as to what why you're doing Beachbody. And it cannot just be, I want to help people. Because guess what? You want to help people, you could go and volunteer at a hospital. Okay? You have to, I just came up with that. I need to use that. Sorry. Okay. You have to dig deep and why. Like all these questions, what pisses you off? Like, how is Beachbody the solution? Okay? And when you find your why and you figure out why you want to do Beachbody, that's what's going to keep you engaged in your business. So when I was a full-time teacher and I would wake up, I would put my alarm at 4:45 in the morning to wake up by 5:15 to work out. And it's not because of the workout, because we all know that the workouts are 30 minutes. It's because as Beachbody coaches, we know that what takes the longest is the perfect lighting for the selfie, the video, the perfect song for the video, the perfect motivational quote to go with the video, right? And sometimes I would take like a 5-second shower because I cared more about the post than how I smelled when I went to work, right? So I would wake up super early. I would have to get my first post in, like I was in crunch time because I couldn't post from the moment I clocked in to the moment I clocked out, not even during lunchtime, okay, at all, especially that I was under the, like everyone was watching me. So 5 in the morning, I would put a motivational quote. 7:29, right before I clocked in, I would put my workout video, okay? And I would listen to personal development or training calls on the way to work. So I'm sharing with you how this is possible. And you probably don't sleep, but it's okay. It's gonna be worth it. I would go to work, get out, do a post, and I would get creative with my schedule of when I would post, okay? And as far as working the business, at the beginning, I really didn't have a team. My challenge groups were crickets. So I felt like I was like in Beachbody University, learning the business so that eventually I can apply everything that I learned. And that's what I would do. I would spend from 1 to 3 hours working the business towards the end, when I gave myself 1 school year to retire, like it was August, and I told myself, I took a video of my classroom the first day of school by myself saying, this is my last first day of school. I will retire this year. And I remember Christina Delgado, my sponsor, was like, Arlyn, you have to be realistic. Are you sure? My husband was like, you know, like they were freaking out because they didn't want to see me fail. They believed in me, but they were like, okay, whoa, this is like in 8-9 months. My why is what kept me going, which was to be a present mom. So I didn't care to go to the teacher's lounge and talk to people. With those 20 minutes of my lunch break, yes, 20 minutes of my lunch break, I would run outside, eat my lunch in my car while I was either on a team, like listening to a team call, listening to personal development, listening to trainings from past summit events, and I will get back into work. Any tiny little time that I had to breathe, that it wasn't while I was teaching, it was all about Beachbody. And I had to get my family on board and let them know that, yes, I'm going to be on my phone 24/7, but it's for a reason. And if you have everyone around you on board to know why you're a coach, when they see you on your phone, they're not going to think you're ignoring them. They're not going to think you're being rude. They're going to know that you're working towards your dream. Okay? When I would get home from work, I wanted to spend time with my babies that I was away from for so many hours and my husband, but I knew I had to get work done. So I would bathe them. I would put them to sleep. I would sometimes listen to team calls while I was rocking the baby to sleep in the rocking chair in the dark. I would make my cup of coffee. I would have my cookies. I am a cookie monster. So being in the Shift Shop test group is killing me softly because I miss my cookies. I will admit it, okay? I would make my cup of coffee. I would sit at my desk and I would have to work. And I knew that if I worked 5 more minutes, that was getting me closer to retire. And I was like, oh, 5 more minutes. Oh, the coffee just kicked in, 5 more minutes. And I would get so engaged in learning something that until I didn't finish that YouTube video, I wouldn't go to sleep. So yeah, there were days that I would go to sleep at 2 in the morning and wake up at 5 for work. But it was my why that kept me going. And it's what still keeps me going because yes, I retired, but this is not just what I want out of life. I want more. I want to take my business to the next level. So yes, you might have to give up sleep, but guess what? Whatever your why is, I'm sure will take you to sleeping because if your why is to keep your job, but just to have money to travel, sleep when you're in vacation, okay? If your why is to retire, you'll sleep when you retire, trust me, you know? You'll be able to take power naps throughout the day. So don't worry, sleep will come. But for now, you have to do the work, okay? Let me see, any other questions? Okay, anyone else? No, I think we're good. I made someone cry. Yay! I love making people cry. That means I dig deep into your feelings, you know? All right. One more shot. Any more questions at all? No? Okay, so remember, your homework assignment is to storytell on something that happens daily, or maybe right now. Maybe this call was something that inspired you to dig deep, okay? Maybe you could even turn this call into a storytelling. I don't know. Think about it. Get creative and don't overthink it, okay? If you overthink things, then the negative thoughts jump in. So just take the leap of faith when you start posting, all right? Remember, it's due by noon tomorrow. And the hashtag is story of my dreams. All right, guys, I had a blast being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this call. If you have any specific questions, you can message me or you can stalk my social media. All right, have a good night. And I guess I'll talk to you soon or see you soon. Good night.